Hey everyone, thanks for coming. Check out my talk. My name is Brandon. I am the CEO and co-founder of Phantom. I think a lot of you guys are Phantom users. And yeah, today I'm really excited to talk about basically how we're planning on evolving from just being a crypto product to an actual full-blown consumer finance platform, and all with the goal of supercharging the Solana ecosystem and really helping all the builders in the ecosystem compete with TradFi giants. So yeah, I mean, just starting off, we started Phantom because we strongly believe that usability is the main thing that's holding crypto adoption back today. So our mission is to accelerate the adoption of crypto by making it safe and easy to use. And we believe by perfecting the consumer experience of crypto, we can deliver it to a much, much larger audience. And yeah, the self-custody wallet is really the fundamental cornerstone of the entire ecosystem, and especially the on-chain ecosystem. And the wallet has a huge role in improving usability. We're still early in the adoption of crypto, and in the future, most folks are going to have a wallet in their pocket, and the on-chain ecosystem is going to be at the center of the financial lives of everyone. So by focusing on this mission of improving usability for the ecosystem, Phantom has played a central role in onboarding literally millions of users to the on-chain crypto ecosystem in the past couple of years. So this year at our peak, we actually served 17 million monthly active users. That's 5x off of the last year, and then more than 28 times the lows of post-FTX 2023. And all these users that are entering the ecosystem, they are using DeFi like crazy. The trends are pretty clear, especially in the last couple of years. Decentralized exchange volume has really outpaced centralized exchange volume. And most of that activity is being driven by retail usage on Solana specifically. Just last week, actually, the amount of total dApp revenue was actually more than 50% on Solana in the entire ecosystem. Ethereum actually sits at 13%. So there's no better place to build a DeFi app or any kind of Web3 app than on Solana. So yeah, we bet really early on the power of the on-chain ecosystem, and now it's pretty clear that the on-chain ecosystem is taking over, right? Now that we've really achieved significant product market fit, and so we believe we're just scratching the surface of what we can do for the ecosystem, and we really want to try to help push this next evolution for builders across the ecosystem. And yeah, wallets in the future aren't just going to enable access to crypto apps. They'll actually become the center of the consumer's financial life. I think everyone here believes that. And crypto will be this platform that's serving billions of users, millions of businesses, and helping them transact on a daily basis. So yeah, it's important for everyone to really believe that crypto is what is going to unlock finance for everyone. So this vision of this next generation finance platform for everyone across the globe, that's what crypto is going to enable for all of us. And without crypto, actually a true internet scale, so if you think about like Facebook, Google, like Twitter, there's never been a true internet scale finance network that's existed before. And although TradFi has been becoming more and more increasingly digital, so if you think about like mobile finance apps like Robinhood, Square Cash, and Chime, even though they're becoming more digital, they're still gated by geography and country-by-country regulations by virtue of being built on legacy rails, right? And on these apps, you very rarely have users that are interacting like in this borderless way, cross-border. And crypto is actually the innovation that unlocks the creation of what we're going to see to be the largest financial network that's truly internet scale, truly global. With crypto, the reach of consumer finance becomes an order of magnitude larger. When users self-custody, the total addressable market of financial apps actually becomes the entire world. And when crypto is being used as this technology, the network effects can actually become much, much larger. And yeah, this isn't just theory. Actually, we've been personally shocked at the growth of Phantom's international communities. We discovered actually this Nigerian community group that we just discovered them just waking up on Twitter one day. And they actually, those are bespoke, custom-made Phantom t-shirts that they actually created and produced themselves. And in Nigeria, users will actually self-organize and go door to door to help friends and community members onboard. And that's not really anything that's been seen in pretty much any kind of, obviously TradFi app, but even tech app generally. And this is just a really clear illustration of how the power of crypto manifests itself as this global force. But despite all of the advancements that the ecosystem has made in the last couple of years, crypto continues still to be plagued by this usability problem, right? I think most people can agree still. So we all know that crypto has this quote-unquote usability problem, but that's actually not really specific enough to be helpful. So it's actually really helpful to break it down and sort of frame the problems that crypto apps have in terms of the tech stack, right? So this is the combo of tools that Web3 app developers have been using for a very long time. At the bottom, Ethereum has been obviously the historic primary choice for builders at the protocol level. And yeah, the protocol layer has really been plagued by a lot of problems like speed, transaction cost, bandwidth. And problems at this layer manifest into really tricky UX issues like obviously exorbitant transaction fees at time of congestion, missed transactions, and ultimately all of that boils up into worse prices and harder. It makes it harder to trade, and it makes it harder to actually use financial apps. And so then on top of the protocol layer, we had the classic consumer interface layer, which their job is to try to obfuscate the technology for access to a broader audience. And at this layer, we've also seen a number of problems traditionally, like poor mobile compatibility, poor key management, fragmented key management, fragmented discovery. And then if you add all of these things together, two wrongs don't make a right. And it ends up creating this application layer that is dragged down by all these issues, right? And none of the apps here can really live up to their full potential because they're built on this sort of shaky ground, right? So if you're trying to build in Web3, it's been really hard to acquire users. It's really hard to get distribution. And in general, it's just really hard to create a business in Web3. I'm sure everyone here can appreciate that. But luckily, as we know, these issues are starting to get fixed. And it all starts with fixing the root of the problem with the protocol layer. And obviously, that's where Solana completely changes the game. Completely changes the game for the crypto ecosystem at this protocol layer by fixing a number of crucial issues. And because of the foundational work done by the community here at this conference, crypto apps have a very bright future. So we all know high throughput and low latency enables a smooth and fluid experience for end users. Cheap fees means a whole new set of users who could never pay for transactions before. Cheap fees also means, on the developer side, a lot more experimentation, bringing new use cases, et cetera. And even from a community standpoint, I'd say a real tops-down emphasis on pragmatism versus dogmatism has really helped keep development in the Solana ecosystem super fast-paced, super focused. And that's something that we really resonate with at Phantom with the Solana community. And yeah, all of that adds up, and the results are already here. Solana has become the largest on-chain center for economic activity, leading the charge in a number of key metrics like daily transactions, active addresses. But Solana ecosystem has also been leading trends like stablecoin usage, mobile adoption, and real-world asset issuance, which is the topic of the month. And so now we're actually witnessing the emergence of this new Web3 stack, right? Where Solana is the foundational layer, And at Phantom, our job is to take all of the advancements of the protocol and infrastructure that are being built by the community here, and then actually marry them with advancements in modern UX at this consumer layer. And so that means no more seed phrases, consistent and safe discovery experience, and things like modern customer support, local currency, language, translations. These are all things that basically the Ethereum community in general has let fall by the wayside, and obviously to a huge detriment of the application layer. And so if we can combine all the innovations at both this consumer layer and protocol layer, it lets us develop a platform where consumers and app developers can thrive. And this is the key to evolving Phantom into the consumer finance platform of the future to actually start competing with folks like Robinhood and Square Cash. It's not just a place to store tokens or swap assets, but it's going to be a full-stack consumer finance platform built on Solana. So our vision for Phantom is to become the next generation mass market consumer finance platform that finally brings crypto mainstream, specifically the on-chain ecosystem. And we're evolving from being just a tool. We're actually trying to bring internet scale network effects to finance and build a platform that's going to start to take on some of the biggest TradFi giants. But to do that, like I mentioned, we actually need to force multiply the ecosystem at the consumer layer and help builders build thriving businesses. So there are three main bottlenecks that we're laser focused on solving for the ecosystem: onboarding, security, and discovery. And I'll talk a little bit about what we're doing in each realm. OK, so first bottleneck, onboarding. Obviously, signing up for a crypto app should feel no different from a normal app. First impressions really matter. And as the wallet, we're responsible for controlling a lot of that first-time user experience. And we take that responsibility very seriously. And in general, have strived to improve user onboarding by solving a number of common pitfalls. So for example, having to write down your seed phrase, a common problem that's been in the industry for years. But not only do we make onboarding fast and secure, we also make it really fun. So personalization and picking usernames makes onboarding a lot more fun and personal, and gives user a sense of identity when using crypto. Our work here ensures there's a stream of healthy and active users entering the app ecosystem. But users entering the ecosystem, user growth isn't just about adding onboarding as many users as possible. It's also about keeping them retained and keeping them safe and secure on the platform. So that brings me to our second bottleneck, security. So at Phantom, security is our #1 priority. And keeping users and their funds safe secure is fundamental to growing a very healthy ecosystem, right? But the open and permissionless nature of crypto, it poses unique challenges. It's a double-edged sword. Not only does it allow the ecosystem to grow very quickly, but it also creates an environment for scammers, phishers, et cetera. This open and permissionless nature poses a lot of problems that are actually quite similar to the internet itself, right? Your wallet is very similar to your email inbox. Open and permissionless means anyone on the globe can send you a token, but the flip side of that is that, like some emails, not everything is sent with good intent, right? So that's why email clients evolved to incorporate spam filters because of the emergence of phishing messages and bad actors. And at Phantom, we've invested significant effort into token spam identification, real token verification, going as far as to acquire an entire company to work on this full time. Shout out to the Simple Hash team. But that's just one layer of protection. So keeping a user safe requires innovation in not only technical areas like spam detection or transaction simulation, but it also in operational areas like one-on-one customer support. I think that's something that a lot of crypto apps struggle with, is focusing mostly on the technical solutions and even to some extent just the UX solutions, but actually people need to be thinking about the entire user journey inside and outside of the app as well. So now, once users have safely and securely onboarded into the ecosystem, they're ready to make their first transaction, right? But often they fall flat when it's time for transaction number 2 or transaction number 3. Today, crypto users don't really have a great way of exploring what to do next in the ecosystem. And so that brings us to our third and final bottleneck, which is discovery. As the consumer layer of Solana, Phantom has this very unique opportunity to basically supercharge all the activity that's going on by solving the discovery problem. And we believe that the key to solving the discovery problem is actually going to be social. Crypto is actually an inherently social movement. So I guess in the audience, raise your hand if someone that you know, like a friend or family member, actually got you into crypto in the first place. OK, so yeah, pretty much everyone. So I think everyone can relate to this. Maybe they got you set up with Phantom in the first place or sent you some SOL. As a user, you're much more likely to use or engage with something if it came as a recommendation from someone that you trust, right? This is implicitly how a lot of discovery works in crypto today on open forums like Twitter or Discord or Telegram. Adoption is driven by word of mouth, right? People learn about new tokens and opportunities from friends. At Phantom, we really want to harness and optimize this inherent superpower of crypto and use it to supercharge the ecosystem. So imagine this example scenario. So if we can expose a user to a new up-and-coming NFT mint, for example, they actually go ahead and perform the action. We can highlight that activity to others in their network, and another user, for example, reacts to that activity, eventually leading to a different user in that person's network to bridge over Solana and participate in that same mint. So this is the ecosystem flywheel that we really want to start pushing forward more and more. And yeah, if we can make that happen, then we can really supercharge the ecosystem. And why do we want to do that? Because network effects are rocket fuel for growth. Not just Phantom, but for every app and token in the ecosystem. Social sharing and engagement is actually a foundational element of the vast majority of internet-based apps that we use nowadays. And there's a reason why the biggest companies in tech invest in making their products social. It's because when done right, social functionality actually creates compounding growth, opportunities for builders and developers by creating more paths to discovery and virality amongst a broader set of users. So over the next couple of weeks, we're going to be rolling out a set of social features designed to spark these network effects specifically for the Solana ecosystem. So first off, we're actually going to be introducing a feed tab in the app. So this can be completely new. And it's going to act as a hub for social discovery. So users are going to be able to, at a glance, basically see what's trending in the Solana ecosystem, specifically in their network. They're going to be able to see buys and sells from users that they follow, and actually also be able to monitor whale activity across the ecosystem. Coupled with that, we're also building a real-time push notification infrastructure to be able to push those same types of updates and insights to users in real time. So as we continue to build out new functionality within Phantom, it's super critical that we help developers and builders succeed at the same time. We think that Solana, the ecosystem, is positioned to be the clear and obvious home for anyone who wants to build and benefit from on-chain finance. But that means an uncompromising commitment to being user first. And that really means everyone here needs to be bought into that and be living that every day. And so just imparting a few lessons that we've learned on that journey and that are going to continue to prioritize, and I think everyone here should prioritize. So obviously, obsess over the onboarding UX. Good onboarding is a barrier to everything else in the ecosystem. But don't only focus on onboarding. Don't only focus on getting users through the door. Also keep them retained and engaged on the platform. Remember that user growth is onboarding plus retention. Take ownership over educating your users, both inside and outside the app. And I'll plug customer support again one more time. I think it's a really important overlooked aspect of many consumer financial apps. The current meta, I guess, in crypto is just to send someone to Discord, right? And that's obviously not a great experience and actually quite dangerous. And so, yeah, make support part of the product, part of the go-to-market. Make sure it's not an afterthought. And with all of this, really lean into all of the strengths of Solana and what makes it great. So lean into speed, composability, fluidity. And all right, that's it from me. If you want to connect, please follow me on Twitter or search for @BM on Phantom. We're hiring across all teams and functions, and if you're interested in joining us, please check out the website here or find me here later. And yeah, Phantom is all in on growing Solana. We've been all in for 4+ years now. And yeah, it's just super excited to collaborate with everyone here to make Solana the home for not just crypto, but for consumer finance broadly. Thank you.